Join us and the rest of the ASOTU More Than Cars crew for ASOTU's NADA Show Sessions, a podcast live from all the action.
We're bringing the best conversations straight to you.
You know what I'm going to do is also weave in at the end George Saliba. Have you seen these influencers with like Saliba and Benz and Bow-Ties and stuff? Yeah. Saliba, in the last 30 days, has 2,748 We'll Buy Your Car leads from social in Accu-Trade. 3,000. It was like 800 maybe 60 days ago.
So what's he doing? He's just posting like, hey, this. He's got an audience. Some people are just submitting.
He's got a million-person audience, but all he does is just film appraising cars with Accu-Trade. So, and then he does the post, he does a reel, and he does the story.
Yep.
And on the reel and the story, he has a hyperlink at the bottom with our UTM tag.
Yeah.
And it says, while he's appraising somebody else's car.
See what your car's worth?
Yeah. And that is generating that.
Bro.
I've got
machine. More than he can handle. So everybody's like, oh, I can't get cars. This dude is like throwing them away.
You gotta go.
I'm ready.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm waiting on you guys.
You guys are ready with speeding. Sorry, we never told yours.
Were we already live? Rolling?
I mean, we were recording, but like...
Because that was great content.
It was. I think we're good. I think we're done. I don't want to tell you how to do your job, but that was pretty amazing. Brian, it's awesome to get to sit. I feel like we used to spend more time together, but then you got all busy and popular, and now we don't get to talk anymore. So I'm glad we could sit for a minute.
The first podcast I ever did was with you.
That is crazy. I didn't know that fact.
Yeah.
Well, let's make sure that
and first in-person event like this.
Well, let's make sure this isn't the last. Okay, we'll try again. Look. Accu-Trade has taken off. The dealer club acquisition obviously ties into Cars' commitment to the used car market in general. But let's talk about Accu-Trade.
It's hotter than Hansel right now.
Hotter than Hansel, oh my gosh. So we're in this really interesting spot where we don't have any leases coming back into the market. Used car prices are forecast to go down, and used car inventory is also forecast to go down. So it must be a big question that you get all the time, and like, how do I get quality used cars into my dealership so I can retail them?
Well, so it starts with a few different things. First of all, I mean, direct, and everybody in this whole convention's talking about it, but direct from consumer acquisition is really the key.
Yep.
But a lot of people don't know how to connect the dots on that, or they don't have an audience or know how to target the audience in order to draw them in. So they just throw darts at a board.
Yeah.
And they're saying, well, they put a banner outside that says "We buy cars" and expect that it's just going to drive all these customers in.
That doesn't work?
It's one leg of the stool.
Yeah.
But then you actually have to also do what you said you were going to do. And when they say, hey, I want to sell you my car, well, what do you want to replace it with? You actually have to do what you said you were going to do, but it needs to not just be on a banner, it should be online. It should be on your website, on 7 different places on your website. It should be on UTM tags, which we provide, on CRM, QR codes in the community. And basically anywhere that anybody that they post any marketing should have a "We'll Buy Your Car" QR code attached to it.
So it sounds like, the Accu-Trade tech makes it easy to appraise cars. But what you're talking about, you're saying you need to turn into a marketing machine when it turns into generating used cars leads.
And yes, 100%. And if you think about CarMax, Carvana, and the amount of visits that they get on their website per month, it's the curiosity. Every dealer has this huge resource of data that consumers want. And it's clickbait and it's the trade. But so many dealers are like reluctant to be transparent with that information.
Why do you think? Because that's where they're holding back, that's where they're making profit.
And they're stepping over dollars to pick up pennies because they think that what if I can acquire it for $500 less? And they're losing the big picture, and they should be appraising, 200-300% more cars than they're probably appraising.
Yep.
And it's not in the showroom because they're probably doing a great job there. It's online. It's on the service drive. It's in a vehicle buying center. It's on social media, or with us, in-market video. Walking people through the process. In-market display ads. You're going to get a lot higher results by going after the trade than. A car could be sold, you get X amount of EDPs, and there's so much you can do with that. But the true organic traffic and what everybody wants to know is what's my trade worth.
Yes. So you mentioned that the friction and the things that happen. The showroom, everyone probably said they're probably doing a good job with that. It sounds like giving a customer a number, and I know it's kind of the epic debate that you and David Long constantly trade blows on back and forth. I think I saw something that you may have agreed on something at once. I don't know if that's
I
still
agree
the
with
case
him on
or
the
not.
upper funnel, but there has a point where you have
Explain
to
that. You agree with him on the upper funnel.
So, yeah, it's a great question. So, when the customer's upper funnel and they're just beginning their search and they're trying to narrow things down, they're okay with the range. And that wasn't my initial
Right, but that's
understanding
one
of it.
philosophy. It's one approach. People are saying just give them a trade range and then work it from there.
But you have to give them the option also that if they want more and they want to go further down funnel, because what we see on Dealer Inspire websites is there's a huge bounce rate if you don't give them an exact value. And we can see it in the GA4 events. And they just go, and on the ones we have a pixel or something like that on, we can see where they go, and it's nowhere good. And they're going somewhere else to get a guaranteed value. So you might as well give it to them, because if not, how are you going to retarget them? How are you going to do remarketing? Which we help dealers do campaigns around that. But how can you facilitate that if you don't know what the trade is? Or in the CRM, how are you going to have a save a deal meeting if you never appraise the trade to be able to call them up to get more money for the trade?
So that's the next level. I think that's, you think of dealers who want to take the next level of sophistication in their used car acquisition strategy. And I think you just highlighted one. Until you give them a number, you're not getting the information you need to understand more about them to give you a second and a third pass, is what you're saying.
It's just like back in the day, when I first started selling cars at Oldsmobile, that's how old I am.
I owned an Oldsmobile at one point. Cutlass.
That was a great car.
2-door.
Yep.
My wife hated it, by the way. She almost didn't marry me over it.
But so back then, if they weren't committed and if terms and conditions are agreeable, Paul will buy today, and you had to sign that, and you're like, what am I agreeing to? Well, then we're going to get you some numbers.
Yeah.
So that was, like, at the time, they didn't think it was crazy. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're doing today with trade-ins by not giving them a number. What can they be in?
Yeah, give me something before I give you anything.
And when we started doing menus and the more people you write up on a menu, the more people you're going to sell. The more people you appraise, the more trades you're going to acquire, which is going to result in a sale.
Yep.
So to progress these customers more, everybody wants an appointment. Mm-hmm. And the easiest way to get an appointment is, here's how much I'm going to give you for your trade. When can you come in so we can validate it and verify it and walk around together and take a look at it? And everybody wants this. I mean, it's insane to me, but everybody wants this appointment. And they can easily get it if they just give the customer what they want. But there's all this friction because maybe I can take it in $500 less. Or
right, and as you said, stepping over dollars to pick up pennies.
Yeah.
So last question. We got a lot of runway in 2025. What's the thing you're most excited about this year?
Oh man, there's so much. As much as the compression on the supply and all that stuff, and there's going to be the least amount of cars in like 20, 30 years available. Mm-hmm. There's two different types of dealers. There's the dealers that are winning and they're acquiring cars, and like we were talking about previously with like George Saliba at J&S Auto Sales up in New Jersey, independent dealer.
Yep.
He's generating 3,000 We'll Buy Your Car opportunities off his social media campaigns. He's
3,000 like a month?
A month.
That's crazy.
So and it's been building slowly, but what he's doing is he's literally filming his appraisals. He's got somebody else that's following him around.
Yep.
He's so transparent. He's saying this is the process. And while he's appraising, he puts a link to Accu-Trade link that we generate in the stories, in the reels, and it says, curious what your trade's worth? Find out in 2 minutes or less. And click there. And from that's how he's getting 3,000 opportunities a month.
Right, he
more
can't
than
even
he can
do that.
handle.
Yeah.
And everybody
What's he
else
doing
is
with
saying,
the other ones?
Well, he's got a surplus, just like some of these other big
Absolutely.
groups we're talking about, to where he doesn't have to step up on every single trade or go to the auction.
Right, you can be picky.
He's buying them and taking them to the auction, and he's on the other end.
And
of that
everybody
deal.
else is saying we can't get anybody to submit.
And
Wow.
actually, he just sold a car about 2 hours ago. On Dealer Club, we signed him up. He launched it. It sold in maybe 20 minutes.
No way.
Live. And it was on all these cars he's acquiring that he doesn't, because I can't handle this much inventory. I can't park them all in my lot. So literally exited on Dealer Club.
Well, talk about a game changer. I think we've accomplished our goal of not making this the last podcast you'll ever be able to do. Brian, as always, thanks for pushing the boundaries every single year after year and giving us a little time today.
We're going to keep doing it every year. I appreciate the opportunity.
Let's go.